What's up, y'all? You know I need no intro. So I'm gonna just jump right into it. So I hate being alone sometimes because my mind wanders. Like, I start thinking about all types of shit. So if you can hear, like, I don't have the TV on, I don't have nothing on, just me and myself. So I did something real quick. Is I went to the store or whatever, and I didn't take my phone. I left my phone, and I never leave my phone, especially when my kids not with me. Like, I do not leave my phone. So I left my phone. I'm like, I'm about to run to the store. I'm gonna come right back. So I left my phone, and I'm just riding, literally like 10 minutes riding to go to the store. And I was just thinking about me and how I feel about myself and where I'm trying to get to and what I need to do for myself. And basically, just to jump right into the shit, I know a lot of people with mental illness, and regular people too, suffer with some sort of addiction. Some people have like an addiction to drugs. Some people have an addiction to alcohol, sex, anything. And I remember when I did see my psychiatrist, and she was asking me these questions, and she was like, I'm so surprised that you're not an alcoholic or you're not on drugs. And I was like, oh no, ma'am. Like, I like the libations, and sorry if I'm nasally, I'm getting sick. I like to have me a little taste every now and then, but I'm not about to sit up there and sell my TV for no liquor. And I'm not into the drugs. That's just not my scene. So anyway, I remember her saying that, like, she was surprised I didn't have this kind of addiction. And I remember my sister telling me that I was a boyfriend addict. And every time she would tell me that, it would piss me off so bad, and it would hurt my feelings. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, why do you say that? Like, I'm just more comfortable in a relationship. And that has always been how I am. I don't like having multiple people I'm talking to. My nerves get bad, I get aggravated, and I don't want to be bothered. I'm a one person type of person. Like, I could do one person. Multiple people, like, it's fun. And I'm not talking about multiple sex partners. Let me just say that. Okay, if that's what you do, that's your business. That's not what she does. But multiple people that you're kind of talking to, like, it get on my nerves, like one person at a time. But anyway, I don't feel like I'm a boyfriend addict, but what I do feel like is I'm a falling in love addict. And I was thinking about getting to a place of falling in love with myself. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. I feel like my addiction is on an intimate level, and not sex, but intimacy, like the embraces and stuff. And I get a lot of love from my children. Like, we are the huggingest, kissingest people up in this house. Like, me and my children hug all the time. I kiss them goodbye before they leave and stuff like that. So it's not a lack of that. It's not that I can't give it, and it's not that I don't receive it. But when you're in a relationship, the intimacy is completely different. It's a completely different, especially like when you first fall in love with somebody. And if you fall in love with somebody, you don't do it on purpose. Like, it just, bam, like you fucking, that's why they call it falling, because you fall. But they don't tell you where you gonna land. And that's the issue. So I think my addiction was the falling in love part, the butterflies in your stomach, and that feeling of wanting to be near somebody, and that person wanting to be near you, and everything that they do is cute and funny, and it's just every time, every moment you with them is so good, and you're like, oh my God, I love him. Like, girl, when he has something in his tea, instead of using a toothpick, he go like this, and I just think it's the cutest thing. Like, and then you get to a point where it's a year later, 2 years later, and that same thing that you thought was so cute, and him digging in his teeth to get out food, you like, bitch, use a fucking toothpick with your nasty ass, And I have been told this, and I know this about myself, that I fall in love with the honeymoon phase of a relationship when everything is all, good and new. Because me, when I love a person, I love hard and deeply. And when I hate you hard, and I hate you deeply, like down to my bones. I'll love you down to my bones, and when I hate you down to my bones. Like literally, I want to see. I'm not even gonna say it. So that's something that I feel like I need to fix about myself, because being in relationships, it always takes something from you, and I feel like it chip away at you a little bit, little by little, little by little, little by little. And if you don't have anything to replenish that with, you leave being an empty person. Now, I'm going to say this. The 3 most important relationships that I have been in produced 3 children. Now, honestly, I love all my exes. I love all of them because they're my kid's father and for who they are as people. Because at one point, who they were was okay. There's the parts that I don't like about them, I still don't like, and the parts that I loved about them, I still love, just not in a romantic way. I don't regret any of my relationships where my children are produced. I regret relationships where it didn't have to do with children, because I feel like each of them brought something. They added something into my life outside of the child. They added something. They all taught me something about myself for the next time. All of that. So I'm at a place in my life of making peace with the fact that these relationships did not work out, but they were necessary. I always felt like they were necessary because I got my kids. But outside of my children, they were necessary because those people were important to my growth as a person. So I'm gonna always love them for that. And honestly speaking, I'm tired of relationships. Like I'm so mentally exhausted. My longest relationship was with my youngest daughter's father. I was with him for 4 years. And the honest part about that relationship is, out of everybody, he was the person who I loved the most. I had never been in a relationship longer than 13 months. And I remember telling him I had a 13-month curse. Like, after 13 months, that's it. That's a wrap. Whatever I was dealing with before that 13 months, it's something about that 13. I gotta go. So that was the longest relationship. And it was a lot. It was a lot of good and it was a lot of bad out of that. And I remember when it finally ended, I just felt so like drained emotionally. Like, just like, oh my God, I ain't got nothing left. I have nothing left. And stupidly, against my better judgment, I got in a relationship with someone too soon, way too soon. And I didn't want a relationship, and it happened, and now it's over. And it's because that role of being in a relationship was so natural to me that it's like, okay, after this 4-year relationship with all this stuff and all these feelings is over, when I should be taking a break and just really trying to replenish everything that I lost. And I'm not talking about much, I'm just talking about period. Like, you lose certain things when you go through shit with people. Instead of me trying to replenish that, I just went on ahead and did what was natural to me. And that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I should have took the time to fall in love with myself and try to figure out the things that make me happy. When we get in relationships, we don't hold on always to the things that make us happy. We turn our things turn into my things, put it like that, turns into our, we things is what I'm trying to fucking say. We things. So that's not, always okay. You still have to be happy. You still have to do the things that make you happy. And you do the things that make your partner happy. But when you stop doing things that make you happy, the relationship is dead. Like, you should just hang that shit up. You just hang that shit up. So that's really what I'm trying to come to grips with me and figure out what, god damn it to hell, what the problem is. Because it's a problem. And I ain't got time for that shit. Like, I ain't got time to be bothered. I just don't have time. My phone about to die. Ain't that about a bitch? But I'll talk to y'all later.